Cousin. Cousin is alive. What?
After a highly successful festival run in 2024, The Brutalist has finally hit theaters. In the film, Adrian Brody portrays Hungarian architect Laszlo Toth, who survives the Holocaust during World War II and journeys to America in search of prosperity. The role held personal significance for Brody, whose own parents were Hungarian immigrants.
I think definitely I have an understanding of specificity within Hungarian culture and dialect from my grandparents and my grandfather in particular, as he and my mother and grandmother had to emigrate to the United States in the 50s. And so I have very fond and intimate recollections of him and those certain qualities beyond the dialect that I was able to find truths to bring into the creation of Laszlo.
For director Brady Corbet, The Brutalist marks his third feature film. Oddly, making a feature film has more in common with being an architect than you might think.
It requires, unlike a lot of other mediums, for you to convince many, 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 many people in advance of that thing's existence that it is worth making. And that is an exhausting, exhausting process.
I brought you all out here to join me in looking forward toward the future.
What do you think?
It's unusual, even for you.
Your English is impressive. Perhaps you can help your husband sound less like he shines shoes for a wage.
And The Brutalist is even more personal for Corbet, with architects in his family adding a unique layer to the story. But then again, maybe all films are personal in some way.
All of the movies are more personal, I think, than many folks would realize. I mean, for me, making Vox Lux, I, became a public figure in a much more minor way than that character. But, all of the movies for me have something very personal in them. I think that one thing that is uniquely personal in this film is mostly the relationship between, a husband and wife. We wanted to see something a bit less romanticized than what we're accustomed to seeing, especially from 1950s melodramas.
The movie recently won 3 Golden Globes for Best Drama, Best Director, and Best Actor. With the Oscars on the horizon, this is one film you definitely need to see this year.
I felt that I was very, very fortunate when Brady hired me to do this film. I have been looking for a role of this much complexity and nuance for decades, honestly. And I read this script 5.5 years ago. It didn't come to me right away. It had several iterations. All kinds of developments happened, and then it came back into my life, and I felt that it was destined to come to me at that point.